The story I'm about to share with you is a true story. It's a story about my life and what I've went through. I am a pastor's kid, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I'm a grandmother. And I'm also a domestic violence survivor. I survived domestic violence in my first marriage for 10 years until I got a divorce. And I'm surviving domestic violence now in my current marriage. Let me give you a disclaimer. What I will share may evoke some challenging memories for whoever comes across this video and see it. You may have experienced domestic violence yourself, or you may have a loved one who's experienced. This is not about seeking revenge, but this is about me finding my voice and healing and forgiveness. In July of 2024, I registered for a domestic violence training because I wanted to learn more about domestic violence. Also wanted to gain the courage to start sharing my story publicly. And during that training, I was able to do that. Found strangers, yes, and it wasn't easy, but I'm glad that I did it. Fast forwarding to October 8th of 2024, I witnessed a tragedy. The young man ended his life afternoon behind my car in broad daylight in the parking lot where I live at. I screamed and I cried because I could not believe what I had just witnessed. But earlier that day, God's Spirit spoke to me and I heard 3 words, no longer silent. When I heard those words, I had a reflection of my own life. And God reminded me that I too once wanted to end my life when I was going through domestic violence. He let me know that I have been silent for too long, and that's how No Longer Silent was born. In my first marriage, domestic violence was actually wrapped in religion. In this marriage, domestic violence is wrapped in alcoholism, mental illness, fear, and anger. Dealing with the same thing but a different face. What drives me is the fact that I decided to live and to be free from this darkness once and for all. Sharing my story will enable me to raise awareness in the community. It will also break the stigma that's surrounded by domestic violence. And it will amplify the voices of the victims and survivors. My desire is to create a community, to come together, to speak up for those who can't, and empower those who can. Recently, I read a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and it says, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter." I started my Stand store during a free trial in December the 2nd, 2024. And I did that just to see if Stand could actually help me to make $100 in 30 days. I actually did it in less than 30 days. I made $242 in 11 days. I was shocked, but I was excited also too at the same time because I didn't believe they could do it. But Stand made it simple and manageable for anybody to be able to do it. Accomplishing that gave me the confidence that I needed. And I decided to continue my journey with the Stand community. I plan to use Stand in 2025 to level up by using all of their product types that are available. My dream, my big dream, is to live in peace in my home with no drama, free once and for all from domestic violence. When I raise awareness in the community, or even when I go into the middle schools and the high schools to teach 8th graders and 9th graders about the warning signs of domestic abuse, I want to do that with a clear conscience. I do not want to live in secret anymore in my current marriage, knowing that I'm still dealing with domestic violence. I want to create a community of supporters and allies and advocates all across the country, all over the world, that will come together to help those that are in need, that's dealing with domestic violence personally, or families that have other family members that's dealing with domestic violence, giving them the support that they need to know that they can come out of it. This movement will become a symbol of hope and resilience. Sharing my story during that training gave me the courage to share my story publicly. I want to build a community of resources, outreach programs, and a support network for survivors to celebrate them for their impact in the community. I want my organization to become a well-established powerful movement that everyone will know about, to want to become a part, to be that light for someone that's in darkness, that will know that there is hope while going through on their journey. My goal for 2025 is to become a DV speaker and travel all over the world. I want to continue going into the middle schools and the high schools, presenting to the 8th and the 9th graders, teaching them about the warning signs of dating abuse. Sharing my story is how my business, the community, and my goals will win in 2025.